I'm here with Lyle and Jenny Simonton, and Sydney just graduated, so congratulations after her journey here. So tell me, what made you guys come here? What was going on with Sydney?
When she was in kindergarten, she was diagnosed with ADHD, and honestly we were kind of relieved to hear it because we kind of knew something was not quite right.
Yeah.
And we started her on medicine, and initially saw good results. We made it through the end of kindergarten fine. First grade went fairly well. She still struggled, but we, got through it. Second grade was pretty good, but that's when we really started to see the medicine not quite, doing what it used to. Like, it just wasn't quite as effective. We upped the dosage a little bit, got to third grade, and disaster. Tried to up the dosage again, tried to switch medicines, and it was just,
They made her sick, they made her angry.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Then that's when we ended up here in the spring. We had her evaluated the spring of her third grade year. And so we started the program in March and pulled her medicine immediately, just for nutrition really, because the diet, we had to pull, a lot of the foods that she liked, and she already didn't eat hardly anything because of the medicine she was on.
Yeah.
And really we were thinking, well, if we're starting this program to try to, get rid of the medicine anyway and fix the problem, we might as well do it now. So initially we pretty much started here, took her off meds, and just
Trug through. Yeah.
Yep.
Just trug through. So tell us a little bit about the journey. What was it like being here?
Yeah, when we started, and Jenny didn't say much about what she was doing or not doing, but obviously with ADHD, focus was not good. Everything was a battle in terms of asking her to do even some simple tasks. It was always a little bit of a fight. Going to school in the morning was hellish, trying to get her ready for school and getting out the door, and everybody was always mad at each other.
That's tough too.
So it was a little bit of oppositional defiant as well.
Yeah, she was diagnosed borderline ODD as well when she was diagnosed with the ADHD.
Yeah.
And so it was once we started Brain Balance, we had plenty of valleys, some peaks.
Yeah.
For a while there. The first we saw some intermittent positive results in the first couple of sessions, and then she kind of flatlined, and we thought things were not going well, and ultimately she just really went through quite a significant change, predominantly in the last month or two that we were here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We were here for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and through 3 sessions. Well, to be honest, we really weren't that pleased with the way things were going after the 3rd session, and then probably about maybe 2 to 3 weeks or a month into the 4th session, all of a sudden she really just blossomed.
Point. There were little things all along the way. Like, she used to be super sensitive to loud noises. Like, you couldn't take her anywhere without her just having anxiety over, is it going to be loud? She's pretty much unfazed by any noise. She's still out of habit, I think, thinks, if it's loud, it's going to bother me.
Sure.
We'll be in situations where it is a loud atmosphere, and she never says a word about it.
That's awesome.
So that kind of thing is gone. The maturity is now starting to see a lot of improvements. That was one of the things in 2nd grade where she kind of made it through struggling, but we were seeing the maturity of her peers just leaps and bounds over her. They were making those gains, and she was not.
Right.
And it was like, I felt like I was parenting a toddler from when she was actually a toddler or 2 until she was 7 or 8. It was just that behavior just never, she just never got out of that. And that's finally, just lots of things lately have been like things you would take for granted of a normal 9-year-old that we've never seen before. Just like all of a sudden, she'll make comments about things that she's processing things that before she was just oblivious.
You couldn't even have a conversation with her before. Now you can converse. Where she's like Jenny said, she's processing the information. Right. She's coming up with original thoughts that make sense, and she wasn't doing a lot of that before.
Right. Yeah. And school is just such a big difference. We've had a lot of other factors involved in her schooling. We switched schools because we wanted to hold her back. We needed to seek out a place where she could get extra help with, because we were at the point where, she's 1st, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, struggling to get C's. I mean, it was
Yeah.
a struggle every night, hours of homework, and she's barely making it. And so we thought she needs, we needed somewhere where she could get special ed. So we switched schools. She's repeating 3rd grade and really excelling. I mean, she's had all A's and B's without the resource help that we switched schools to get. She's not even needing that and getting
Oh my
A's and
gosh.
B's. Yeah.
That's so great.
So that's,
she's
just
come
nice.
so
And she
far.
likes school. I mean, she enjoys it. You can tell she's learning, and it's just,
It's hard to put into
Yeah,
words,
it
isn't
is.
it? Because you just get a different kid practically.
You do. It is.
I remember when
She's
you.
changed.
I remember when you guys called me and told me that she rode her bike.
Oh yeah.
How big of a deal that
Yeah,
was.
she
You know
just
that
refused.
she just
Like, we knew she's capable. I mean, she was,
right.
7 or 8, and other kids on our street are 4 or 5 years old, like, riding their bike around, and she finally just one day, she didn't want to listen to anybody tell her what to do. She just went out there and just figured it out. And then, like, all of a sudden, then she kind of went through a phase where she could do it, but she didn't really want to because it was a lot of work. And then
Yeah.
one day, like, the whole week, like it was last summer, like all week long, every day, she just wanted to ride her bike all over the place, like all of a sudden.
Just like a switch.
Yeah.
So what would you guys say to parents who are thinking about doing this?
I would say no question. I mean, looking back, it was the best decision for her that we have ever made. Along the way, we went in thinking, okay, I know it's going to be hard. I can do it, and I feel like I'm a person. If I set a goal, I'm gonna, we're gonna get through it. And there was a point in the middle, toward the end, that I was about ready to say, I can't do the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we about bailed. I mean, I wouldn't say we about bailed, but we definitely had a lot of questions. What are we doing? Is this?
You're just
doing
questioning if you're
anything?
doing it right, if everything, like you're trying to follow the program, but it's just, there's so many components that you don't have any control over, that are just hard.
Sure.
And, I knew, we decided when we started that we were going to see it through. So that was one thing that I think, if we had just said, okay, we're in it for 6 months and whatever happens, happens, we would have been done. Because we kind of thought, okay, that was the only thing that I really would say, that I wouldn't say I disappointed. I was disappointed that we weren't done sooner. And that was
Sure.
only because I was thinking, okay, you prepare yourself for, okay, I can do this for this amount of time, and then it takes longer than you expect. And I know that's
Yeah.
nothing anybody can control.
Right.
And it was just, it was really hard to keep going when you thought, I thought we'd be done by now.
Yeah.
We weren't seeing
Right.
much results.
But
Right.
we did it, and I can't tell you how happy I was to listen to your advice about just going into that last session, because that was the point where I was like, if I go through this another 3 months and we don't, I told Lyle, I said, this is it. If we don't finish in this last, see the year through, I cannot keep going. I just can't. And so, but like you said, that was it for us. And it was,
That was worth it.
once you start to see those changes that stick and that are permanent, because we had seen like she'd have a great day, and even a great couple of days or a week, and then it would just be like all of a sudden it was no more. And I just kept thinking, I can't keep going through all of that for an indefinite amount of time. But once it kind of was like, oh, now it's it's not, you're not going into the regression anymore. You're just kind of seeing that constant improvement, and that didn't happen really consistently for her until her 4th session. And it was worth it. I would definitely say worth every single
tear you cried.
yeah, tears,
Well, and
money,
also, in
everything.
terms of advice, people have to. We were in it fully. We didn't cut corners really too much.
Yeah,
we
you did
did
great.
the way we were instructed, and it's tough. It's really tough. A lot of people have to drive along. We had to drive a good long ways. We had a crazy schedule, and it was tough. That's what made when you're not seeing results and you're spending time, you're spending money, and you're not seeing results, it's really hard to keep going. And had we not done that last session, we might not have seen any positive results or significant positive
And I would
results.
just tell parents that, every kid is different, because, our kid is a perfect example of, she tested at a moderate case. However, I look back and think she was on medication when she tested. So I think for her, had she been evaluated without her medicine, we might have been prepared for a little longer than we were.
Sure,
Because,
sure.
you know,
That's a good point.
it was,
Yeah.
and I didn't really think about that until later, because, you know, she had been on medicine for 3 years every single day. I mean,
Yeah.
of her life. I mean, and we were just kind of, that's how she was. We really weren't used to how she was without it. And once we pulled it early, I mean, you kind of have to think, okay, if she had been evaluated having not been, you know, on her medication, I think she may have had different results. And I mean, I think we would have still stuck it out like we did, but I think I would have gone in with the mindset, okay, it's going to take longer than 6 months, because I think she would maybe have not have been a moderate case.
Yeah.
And I think that was really the only, you know, thing along the way that I was just so mad about was
Not seeing results.
Yeah.
When are we
without
going to
it.
get there? Yeah.
But-
When are we going to get there?
but
Yeah.
you know, every kid can do it on their own time if they stick with it. So
It's true. Wow. You guys have a great story. She's she's better.
she is better.
She is
There's no
just
question
so
about it.
different.
I mean, it's like she's not on medicine. She's not, you know, she doesn't need special help at school, and you know, she's
She's starting to
she's
mature.
doing- yeah,
She,
she's
you know, we
doing
never
well.
saw any kind of maturity
Right.
increase.
Right.
She
at
gets
all.
along with
Right.
other, I mean, it used to be like, you know, she would get along with other kids, but, you know, not really the way you would like, you know, to see social interactions. And that's starting to change too. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'm so grateful that we had a chance to work with her because she's just
Yeah.
awesome. She's just the coolest
Yeah.
kid, so vibrant. So
Yeah.
it's very exciting to see her turn into what she's intended to be.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we
all
were very
right.
happy too.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.